It's the 20th, 2024. Hope everyone's day is off to a good start, no matter what time of the day it is for you. For me, it's 5 in the morning. Love this time of the day. This is what in the yogic tradition is called Brahma Muhurta, the hour of God. Everything is hushed. Everything has a deep, deep silence to it. Um, a silence that is beyond the absence of sound. It is the property, the isness, the thingness that holds sound. It's the allowance of sound. It's there all the time. It's just most prevalent. We can touch base with it during this time. So we're going to continue. Good morning, William. How are you? You're up awful early, my friend. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? Grand Rising's there. Grand Rising's to you, my friend. We are on verse 51 with the Tao Te Ching. It means 30 days after today. 81 verses in the Tao. We're reading Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, which is Dr. Wayne Dyer's interpretation, not translation, but interpretation of the Tao Te Ching. I love this book. It took me a long time to read it. I first became familiar with the Tao Te Ching in 1981 when a girlfriend's mother gave me a copy of Alan Watts's The Watercourse Way, along with a book on Zen. And that started a lifelong pathway, lifelong vision, a lifelong passion in studying the Tao, studying all kinds of different ways of viewing the world. Through the years, I'm sort of uniquely forging my own little path based upon much. Of course, yoga plays a huge role, as well as A Course in Miracles. But really, as Zen states, a pathless path, a gateless gate. That seems to be actually the way of the Tao. The Tao literally means the way. William says, I haven't slept well. I haven't slept yet. Well, off and on. There's something I'm taken with, so I'm only harm myself, I guess. So no, there's nothing I'm tasked with, so I only harm myself, I guess. Some mornings are like that, though, or some nights are like that. I'm gonna bring up my desktop real quick. It's just easier to see. So give me 1 second, guys, and then we're going to read verse 51. I love verse 51. There we go. Sometimes the Tao gets a little political, which it's meant to, but it has less interest for me now because politically, I don't see any politician, excuse me, following the way of the Tao, so it can be disheartening. Let's dive right in. The way connects all living beings to their source. It springs into existence, unconscious, perfect, free. Takes on a physical body. Lets circumstances complete it. Therefore, all beings honor the way and value its virtue. They have not been commanded to worship the Tao and do homage to virtue, but they always do so spontaneously. The Tao gives them life. Virtue nurtures and nurtures them, rears and shelters and protects them. The Tao produces but does not possess. The Tao gives without expecting. The Tao fosters growth without ruling. This is called the hidden virtue. I love that. The hidden virtue. That's what we're called to do. Live a life of hidden virtue, meaning none of it's overt. We're not here to tell people what to do, how to do it, including those that we think we should tell. Imagine if the leaders had that hidden virtue. They didn't tell us what to do or how to behave, but they trusted in our own spontaneous nature to behave according to the Tao. And the Tao is always love. The Tao, as mentioned here, always nurtures, always embraces, always loves, always trusts. Again, not to get overly political, but politics don't trust us to make our own best decision, which is not in the way of the Tao. All of us have this essential nature. Mr. Waldo says, welcome, Mr. Waldo, by the way. Love is always here. Exactly, because love is what we are. It can't be absent. However, we can have blocks to our awareness of love. And if someone were to say, what's our purpose here? The only purpose is to remove those blocks so that we become aware and that we live and that we permanently reside in that which is always present. We remove the blocks of love from our awareness. How do we do that? Well, we can do it through meditating. We can do it through breath work. We can do it through the entirety practice of yoga. We can do it through studying the Tao Te Ching or living the Tao Te Ching. William says, loving hurts. Loving never hurts. However, our concept, our belief that love hurts keeps us trapped in that concept. Love just is. Love doesn't make any demands. Let me very quickly, I won't read the whole thing. One of my favorite descriptions. People are always a little surprised because they think I'm going to pull out a yoga text or a text from the Tao Te Ching or Buddhist text. My favorite description of love is from the Bible, and it's St. Paul's, it's 1 Corinthians. See if I can find it real quick. Here it is. Love is patient, love is kind. Love is not jealous, it is not pompous, it is not inflated, it is not rude. It does not seek its own interest. It is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. That's love. That's the love of Jesus. That's the love of the Tao. That's the love of Krishna. It's the love offered by the Buddha. It's the love of A Course in Miracles. The thing is, we are viewing love through our own mind stuff, through our own attachments, through our own aversions, through our own fear, and we're projecting it out into the world. If we believe that love hurts, then we proceed in life with that belief. We're living those projections, and it hurts. But that's not love. Only love is real, everything else is an illusion. So if it can change, if it hurts, if it is malleable, if it causes jealousy, fear, it's not love, it's an illusion. Score simply says, was up early this morning, I'm a day off. I wonder why sometimes. Beings are the only animals that can simultaneously hate and love at the same time. Interesting. Again, I would say if you're hating, you're not experiencing love. So you can't do it at the same time, but you can have the illusion of doing it at the same time. Love is the presence that allows hate to surface, but it's never dissipated. It never goes away. As St. Paul says, that it endures all things. We can see it as capacity. And what's the role of capacity? The role of capacity is to hold. When we have the capacity of a pot, of a bowl, it doesn't say, I only hold water, I only hold tea, I only hold soup. It just holds. We are capacity. We are love. I used to wonder why I was always called to start waking up earlier and earlier. And then as I studied yoga and experienced the Brahma Muhurtai, the hour of God, and then you read the mystic poets who tell us to get up early and experience this time for ourselves, that, as Rumi said, this is the pathway between the two worlds. Or in Celtic tradition, that these are the thin places, and we can enter other realities through this thin place. So that is verse 51, guys, the Tao Te Ching. Hey, William, if you haven't slept well, on my community page, if you go to my playlist, you'll see a playlist for Yoga Nidra. It's not me doing Yoga Nidra, it's different people that I like. And it guides you through what's called yogic sleep. And it's that place between deeply falling asleep and being awake. We've all been there, but this, you're guided to it. And then you're guided through a relaxation and a healing process. They say that 1 hour of Yoga Nidra is the equivalent of 4 hours worth of sleep. You don't have to do anything. You just lay down, you get comfortable, you close your eyes, you listen to them guide you. And you can do it for 20 minutes, you can do it for 40 minutes, you can do it for an hour. It's deeply healing, deeply restful. It's the fifth limb of yoga, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. Squirrel Semper says, the bringer of the dawn always brings a chance for further. Beautifully said, poetically said. William says, it's not a draining lack of sleep. This is normal operation for me, but I will look into it. It's not so much draining or otherwise, but even if we think this is the way things are, if we experience another way, if we experience the deep rest of Yoga Nidra and how our life proceeds from that rest, we see such a huge difference in our creativity, in our intuition, in how we respond to other people. It changes us at a cellular level, at a deep level in the central nervous system. Resets our mind. We become responsive versus reactive. Reactive is when we say love hurts. Responsive is when we say this too is love. At a certain point, we start making our own healing, our own forgiveness, removing those blocks to a deeper experience of love, a priority. Our only priority. Only priority is to forgive. And life changes. Remember, in A Course in Miracles, I mention this all the time, we're asked not to change the world, not to change ourselves, but to change how we perceive the world, to change how we perceive ourselves. We're not asked to change our behavior because we can't. Again, how does the ego change the ego? It doesn't. However, when we are aware of the ego, everything changes on its own. So I love these morning discussions with you guys. I love coming here, reading the Tao. Again, this is Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. My cat's here to say good morning to you guys. William says, right, I'm just saying I could be drugged and still wake up at 3 a.m. It's like a subconscious compelling. Usually I will play guided sleep or some white noise and try to sleep more. Or you could embrace it. You're up at 3. This is when every mystic is called to wake up. Jane Roberts, who did the channeled material Seth back in the 1970s, Seth said, everyone's given a wake-up call by God between the hours of 6 and 3, but most of us hit the snooze, the God snooze button, and we say, God, I'll get back to you 7 o'clock. I'll get back to you at 8 o'clock. It's too early for you, God. But a true mystic gets out of bed, even if it's just putting one foot on the floor, and says, God, thank you, thank you, thank you for today, for the gift of my existence. And as Squirrel Sniper said, that the bringer of the dawn always brings a chance for further. So we say thank you to the bringer of the dawn, whatever that belief is for you. Let's see, I missed a comment. Squirrel Sniper says, I do feel that sleep takes away from the previous day's teachings. And every time we wake up each morning, uh, the true lesson is just remember, just remember, perfectly said. It's all we're ever tasked to do. Just remember. Remember that you're loved. Remember that you are loved. Remember that it's never diminished. It never changes. Only love is real. Everything else is an illusion. And someone always says, well, what about this? Well, that's your task to find out. It's not my task to tell you. If everything else is an illusion, dive into it. Does it change? Is it a changing aspect of nature? Or is it always unchanging? What's the one thing that doesn't change? What's the one thing that was present the moment you came into this world that didn't change when you were 3, that didn't change when you were in your teens, that didn't change when you were in your 30s, that is still present now? What's that one thing? That's only one thing only that we're aware. Awareness itself. Not the content of awareness. Not the stuff that's within awareness. Awareness is the capacity, that emptiness that holds all things. It's never changed. The illusion of perception. Beautifully said, William. The illusion of perception. Squirrel Sniper says, have a wonderful walk this morning, Eric. Thank you, Squirrel Sniper. And enjoy the rest of your day, whatever's going to be coming up for you. I got about half an hour before the sun comes up. So I'm taking my time to get outside, but I'm going to get ready now. Appreciate you guys for spending time with me this morning. Remember, if you're up at 3, perfect time to meditate. Whatever form of meditation you practice, do some breath work. Welcome the morning. Welcome the experience and whatever it is, whatever it holds. Squirrel Sniper says, turn perception into perspective, and you're on a winner. Nice. William says, I agree. I will probably sit on the balcony with coffee for now. Yep, let the morning open up. Let the morning talk to you. Don't give it your opinion, but just allow the void, the emptiness, the morning itself to express itself to you. Ask for inspiration. That's it. Let me know how it goes, William. I'm going to see everyone later. Enjoy your morning. Take care. See you guys.